Well, welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Jake Fuller with my co-host, the big dog, Ed Brady, trying to figure out how to put his headphones on. And this is it today. Get a drum roll. It's election day. We hope people actually make the effort to go vote. From what I've heard, though, it's a light turnout, and that's not going to fare well if you want change in the city, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what the turnout is. I think the supervisor of elections, I saw her on the news, I think she's suggesting it might be lower.
Gosh.
Go figure.
Yeah, go figure. So really the game plan, the standard game plan is working so far for having spring elections, one runoff early voting location. Everything's fallen into place. You know, now if we could just get, well, they may not even have to get a few people from Tampa and Jacksonville. We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
But it's still, the polls will be open to 7 p.m. tonight, I believe. So make sure if you haven't voted and you're eligible to vote that you go vote. And we'll see. We'll keep our fingers crossed and see if some good luck happens, you know. And in fact, we're hoping to get Nathan Scopp in on the radio. He said he'll drop in today, so hopefully he'll be available to talk to you folks.
Yeah, and, you know, stranger things have happened because one of the strange things that's happened is that Ed got another piece into the Gainesville Sun. So I don't know if it was in the print edition because I don't pay.
It was the Monday print edition.
Oh, okay.
So I'm glad they published it. I sent it in about a week and a half ago, and it worked its way in. And basically, it's about the Bus Rapid Transit proposal. Now, the reason I wrote it is, you know, I have some experience now through the American Dream Coalition of looking at transit systems around the country, looking at the sort of the rhetoric that's used to pitch the concept and all of that, and whether it's light rail or streetcars or in this case BRT. And I've noticed there's a significant difference between the rhetoric and the plan. And so with all this talk about the need for a sales tax proposal to go for transportation, and of course the original justification is and has been the $380 million backlog in just road resurfacing and maintenance issues, the city of Gainesville is trying to take its share and commit it to Bus Rapid Transit.
Yeah, well, I've heard that that one of the proposals from the city commission is that instead of putting it into fixing roads, the way, you know, resurfacing roads, they're just going to outfit the buses with snow tires.
With heavy duty tires. Yeah, that's right.
So that when you hit those potholes, you know, it won't make much of a difference. But no, seriously, now everybody knows that Plan East Gainesville is an intricate part of the Bus Rapid Transit proposal, right?
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it really?
That's the rhetoric. See, what we have to do for our listeners is, I guess, we'll have to change the pitch of our voice. That when you're just giving out gassy rhetoric, then you talk about how BRT is an integral component of Plan East Gainesville. That's at least according to Mayor Craig Lowe. He says, among other things, that it's an integral component, but also that, you know, Bus Rapid Transit is part of our economic development strategy. So, switch the pitch of your voice. I went and I looked at the actual Rapid Transit feasibility study final draft. And they actually have a table where they show, using the accepted methodology in the transportation industry, they project ridership increases, and it turns out that the East Gainesville corridors anticipate, by the year 2035, Jake, an addition of 31 riders.
That's less than one rider per year.
Yeah. Not percent, folks. 31 total new riders in East Gainesville.
But is there a Bus Rapid Transit corridor going through East Gainesville?
Well, what they do is they're planning two. One is Waldo Road from the airport down to University Avenue, cutting over to the university. And then the other is the extension down Hawthorne Road all the way outside the city limits. So, but what's interesting is, again, between the rhetoric and the reality, once the county commission wisely started expressing skepticism about turning a sales tax for much needed road repair into a transit, boondoggle, anything goes. And most recently, Commissioner Lee Pinkeson has said, why don't we just pitch our own half-cent sales tax only for roads, which is a great idea. After the county started showing this concern, suddenly the city commission decided they needed to attend the county meetings and really just talk brass tacks about the BRT. And so Thomas Hawkins, City Commissioner Thomas Hawkins, comes over to the county commission meeting and then follows up with an email in which he tries to lowball the estimated cost of BRT. And he says, no. All we really want to do is the principal line, okay, the main line, and then he describes the route. Well, guess what's missing? The Hawthorne Road corridor. Not even in there. And he even further puts in the email, Jake, he says, and we're not going to consider any extensions for at least the life of the sales tax, which is anywhere from at least 10 years to maybe up to 15 years, depending on where they put it on. So in other words, they've told the residents of East Gainesville that BRT is very important and an integral component of revitalizing East Gainesville. But even Commissioner Thomas Hawkins knows that they have no plans to extend a Hawthorne Road corridor for at least 10 to 15 years. Even if they get money for BRT, they're not going to do it. And the Waldo Road links the airport primarily to downtown. I would think there would be maybe a stop or two, but here's the key point about bus rapid transit. It cannot be rapid if it stops every quarter mile to pick up passengers. If it does, it's not rapid. So the only way it works is to link between major areas of concentration. Well, where in East Gainesville are there major areas of concentration? And there really aren't. So you have the airport, and why anyone would get off the airport and take bus rapid transit, I don't know. But anyway, they're going to have a starting point there going down to the university, which legitimately has a concentration of people. And the BRT study, all throughout it, Jake, it talks about the centrality of the University of Florida, the ridership of the University of Florida. So it's essentially just going to be the current RTS system, which gets a lot of student riders, and it's just going to be with more expensive buses.
And so when it comes to service for East Gainesville, really, Thomas Hawkins and the City Commission are really just giving them lip service.
Absolutely. And Commissioner Sherwin Henry, whose district represents East Gainesville, is onto it. And he even tried to make the case at a more recent City Commission meeting. And he said, look, BRT, quote, should not dominate the city's part in this initiative. He says, because, quote, we can't get regular transit routes into East Gainesville now. And think about this, folks. Remember back at, what's it called, Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving? The largest single shopping day. Mm-hmm. Remember, there's a news report about East Gainesville residents, low-income minority residents, who were put out because RTS didn't run that day. Well, wait a second now. If the transit system is there to service low-income people who can't drive or don't have a car, why would they shut it down on one of the days when it's needed the most? Well, they did because the university was closed.
Is that why they called it Black Friday? Because blacks aren't going to get any service on that day?
I guess. I don't know. It's just, so the point is, and I watched the county meeting, and one of the residents there spoke up in favor of BRT, and she says, we need this for the low-income people in East Gainesville. Well, ma'am, read the plan. Now, I don't wish that ill on anybody. It's 100 and something pages of thick, dense jargon. But if you do look through the plan, you will see that East Gainesville is not significant at all in the city's bus rapid transit plans.
But most people don't think about going to that website, although it's available.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, my opinion piece is on the Gainesville Sun website in the opinions tab, and when I sent it in, I sent the links, the hot links, but they didn't get included. But all you have to do is just copy the official name of these reports, put it in your Google search engine, and guess what? It'll come right up. It's called the Rapid Transit Feasibility Report Final Draft by the Gainesville Regional Transit System.
Damn those open government laws.
It's their numbers.
Yeah.
It's, I could have pulled from my Cato Friends and my Heritage Foundation and others like that. This their numbers. So anyway, folks, listen, we got some calls on the on the line here, but we need to go to our first break of the day. Stick with us. We'll be right back. This is Talk of the Town, only on the Star 99.5.
The doctors at Eye Surgery Center understand that you've worked hard to get where you are today, and the last thing you need is decreased vision. The doctors apply state-of-the-art technique and technology to give their patients the best options for eye care and cataract treatment, including the multifocal Restore lens for both distance and near vision. So if you've been told that you have cataracts or you're just not happy with your vision, call Eye Surgery Center at 352-377-7733. That's Eye Surgery Center, 377-7733.
Melissa, it's good to get out of the house. I love this coffee shop. I thought you could use a break. How's your sister? Fighting cervical cancer is tough, but she's improving. Her doctor said there's now a vaccine to help protect women against cervical cancer. Did you know? No, that's incredible. It protects against infection with HPV, or human papillomavirus. HPV is spread through sexual contact and can cause cervical cancer. I just had my daughter vaccinated. But she's only 11. I know, but doctors say it's best to get vaccinated before becoming sexually active. And you know, HPV vaccine is not just for girls. Boys can get it too. Our parents didn't have the option to keep us safe from cervical cancer with a vaccine. But I can help keep my daughter healthy in the future by having her vaccinated now. I think it's time for my daughter to be vaccinated against HPV too.
Kids, they think they're invincible. You know they're not. Talk to your doctor about routine vaccines for adolescents or visit preteenvaccines.org. A message from the National Meningitis Association.
Did you notice buds bursting into bloom on the trees? Get ready for spring with your own raised vegetable garden bed. Griffiths Lumber has air-dried cypress at 50 cents a running foot. 50 cents. They also have the soil to fill it up. Top that bed off with cypress mulch, and we're talking about a thing of beauty. Lay in some rough green cypress or pick up 6-foot kiln dried at just 81 cents a board foot and add a trellis. The makings of spring at Griffiths Lumber across from Green South on 441. Call Jake and Ed now. 372-3995. That's 372-3995.
Well, before we introduce our guest, we want to take these callers who've been waiting patiently. Let's take John on line 1. Welcome to the show, John.
Hey guys, yeah, great article in the paper there, Ed, and I made a few comments on it online. Yeah, you and I both served together on the MTPO, and you've been at this for a long time. And we both know that transportation in Alachua County, with the county and the city of Gainesville, is rarely, if ever, been about need. The decisions are always about either changing someone's lifestyle or pushing some particular agenda so that we are the first to do this, or comparing ourselves to other cities. Need is at the bottom of the list.
Well, that explains the condition of our roads.
Yeah, and not only that, it's funny, I posted on my Facebook account yesterday that we joke about how we emulate Portland, but folks, we really do, because there's some articles there about their backlog in roads, even as they're spending millions of dollars on their streetcars and all of this stuff. They took $250,000 out of their transportation budget for decorative crossings and things like that.
And to that regard, did you see the PR fluff piece about downtown is starting to thrive? That was in Monday's, I think it was in Monday or Sunday, and it turned out that the only people they interviewed were people that had significant financial interests in downtown, because they owned all the property and they rented out. But and what they said was, the way they described it was, it's starting to attract young urban singles.
What they always say.
So what does that sound like? Does that sound like downtown Portland? Mm-hmm. Young urban singles. So they're doing their damnedest to be another, a mini Portland. So.
But on Main Street, very close to downtown, there's some high-valued properties that have been sitting empty for quite some time.
Well, my wife she actually commented on that article in the comments section. She said she was coming home from Orlando and had to go down Main Street. It took her 20 minutes to go from South Main to 8th, and she said gave her plenty of time sitting in traffic to look at the one city block. There was only one business that was open. Everything else was vacant. So.
Yeah, and another quick comment. Mike Byerly recently said something in the sales tax debate that I thought was very troubling, and he said that why would Gainesville residents vote for improving county rural roads, what's in it for them? And I'm thinking, my God, look at 16th Avenue that they're talking about spending $8 million instead of $4 million. The narrowing of Main Street that took a road that was being paid for by the state and now puts it on county and city taxpayers combined. I mean, that attitude just baffles me, that you would say that the residents of Gainesville don't have an interest in county roads. They're probably as high a dollar value here in Gainesville as there are on the outside. I just thought that was a really divisive comment.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'll say is encourage people. Low turnout actually gives opportunity to people who are motivated to get out and vote. This election can be won if people will get out and vote, and I encourage them to do so.
All right, well, we appreciate it.
Call.
Yeah, let's take Dijon, who's been waiting patiently. Welcome to the show, Dijon.
Thank you very much. Once again, fellas, a great show. Again, we've had this conversation about East Gainesville and the lack of transportation with the accurate routes that we need. I think our city commission definitely needs change. I think today Nathan Scott, people need to vote.
Wait, who we can't tell? Who are you supporting again?
Mr. Nathan Scott.
Oh, wait, now you're hemming and hawing here. Why don't you just come out and say it? Who are you supporting?
I am supporting Mr. Nathan Scott, Gainesville City Commission. That's who we're voting for.
Now we're talking.
And let me say this. I am convinced with everything in me, for all those critics that have made all the trials and tribulations, I'm going to tell you, it's good to have those because it makes you strong, makes you a better person. I believe he's the most qualified candidate, and we just can't go down that same path. And I believe that we have his leadership. This guy's a rocketist. He has common sense. That's something that our city commissioners don't have anymore.
Now, you said you were on the show last week. This is Dijon Kane, and you said that over the weekend you were going to go house to house in East Gainesville. Did you get a warm reception?
It was a little reception. I went out and did some, and it was raining, but we flyed and stuff like that. But we went on the southwest side, and we got a lot of people, really warm reception. So I believe that people are going to come out. I believe that people are recognizing the arrogant mistakes that our city commission is making. Not only that, but this position that he gave his assistant. We got people that's hurting, and we're going to pay him $22 an hour. No, that ain't right. So
yeah. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, we appreciate the call, Dijon. We're going to introduce our guest. Lo and behold, we've got Nathan Scott. I'm not going to sing to you.
Can you sing as good as Dijon?
No, I didn't get. That's not my talent in life.
I think you're one of the few candidates that's actually had an improvised, jingle made up for him, a campaign jingle. That was impressive. I don't know if you heard it last week, but he sang on the air on our show, and it was. Gosh, I was impressed.
Yeah, jingles, blimps, I'm straightforward. I don't want to I just want to serve the people of Gainesville as their next city commissioner.
So, how are things going? What do you think? You've got a good chance? Or?
Outstanding. It's going great. We're looking to get people to come out and vote for change, vote for Nathan Scott in today's very critical runoff election. This election is about change. It's about, bringing representative government back to the people of Gainesville. It's about restoring the public trust and confidence in local government. And really, it's about change versus the status quo.
Well, it really is about change, because if you put Lauren Poe back into office, we're all going to be looking for spare change to pay for our utility bills when they go up. That's the kind of change he's going to bring. It's a typical liberal, philosophy that we just we need more money, and you're the ones with the money. You're going to pay it. So. And I really think that most people are not that thrilled here in Gainesville with this biomass situation. I think polls have shown that a majority of people, 51%, are not in favor of it. But it's going to be rammed down our throat if we continue to put the same old people back in office.
Well, the citizens of Gainesville and GRU ratepayers should all be concerned about this. Again, yesterday and today, I had Rick Blazer came out and endorsed me. He's the co-CEO of Infinite Energy. Darren Cook, yesterday, CEO Infinite Energy, endorsed me on the basis that the cost to the community from the biomass contract is untenable. And apparently there's been some discussion amongst parties on that. But basically, Mr. Cook is basically substantiated the fact that the city is long power, buying it at a very expensive price, and we don't have anyone to sell it to at that price. And the cost to GRU ratepayers will be anywhere from $130 to $275 million or more during the first 10 years for us paying for excess power that we don't need. And again, it's time to deal with this problem. The Gainesville City Commission bet big, they guessed wrong, and now we need to fix this problem before it's too late.
Now, strictly from a business standpoint, I mean, it would have been interesting to go to the university, one of these business professors, and said, here's the business model that they're looking at. Do you think this is going to work? And I'm sure that from a practical business standpoint, they'd have said, what are these people, crazy? I mean, this is not going to work. It's going to bankrupt us.
Well, Mr. Cook, it's my understanding, clearly had a discussion with someone about the substantial risk that the city undertook by entering into such a fiscally irresponsible contract, and no other utility or prudent business would entertain accepting that risk, but yet they stuck it on the backs of GRU ratepayers, and we're going to be forced to bail the city out of this bad decision, and it's going to cost us billions of dollars.
Yeah, our call-in line is 372-3995 if you want to join in on the discussion.
You know, one of the themes I think that has emerged here is how your campaign has really ruffled some feathers with the status quo. And, you know, of course, you can expect sort of the DEC block and all that crowd. But more recently, the Gainesville Sun has kind of interjected itself, I think, unfairly to try and if not promote Lauren, certainly demote you in the eyes of in the eyes of voters. But now I would add the city of Gainesville to that. I'm looking at a tweet that the city of Gainesville sent out. I guess an informational tweet, you would say, reminding citizens of Gainesville to go vote. And it says here, be sure to vote today in the city of Gainesville runoff election for one at-large commission seat. Parentheses, Lauren Poe and ...
That's it?
That's it.
That's how they sent this out.
They send a link to, I guess, if you follow the link, you can find out who the other mysterious candidate is. But isn't that convenient?
Yeah, it wasn't Nathan Scott ...
Yeah. Now, Twitter has character limitations. You're only supposed to put in X number of characters. And the point is, if you sign for Twitter, you know that. So the point is, the city of Gainesville knew that. The point is, Bob Woods, who's the city of Gainesville's PR guy, knows that. If you have only enough room for one candidate and not the other, either use both last names. You're talking about a 3-letter last name and a 4-letter last name, or don't put any of them and just say follow link to find out who's running.
Which would have fit had he put Poe and Scott, but he put Poe.
Lauren Poe.
Lauren Poe and ...
6 letters, yeah. Lauren Poe and ... And isn't that convenient?
You know,
so you have the Gainesville. How does it feel, Nathan, to have like all of the establishment out for you?
Well, it's tough when you're the front runner. I mean, again, one of my favorite quotes is from George Orwell. I think it came from Animal Farm, if I'm not mistaken, but it goes something like this: in times of universal deceit, telling the truth has become a revolutionary act, and the Gainesville City Commission is scared of the truth, and that's why they're afraid of Nathan Scott.
Well, see, we're on a different intellectual level, because my favorite quote, and this applies to the people that don't get out and vote and end up having to pay a higher utility rate, is a quote from John Wayne that says, you know, life is tough. It's even tougher when you're stupid. And that's what it's going to be like. If you don't go out and vote, you're going to end up paying a lot more than $10.56 on your utility bill. It's going to go up a lot, and it's
hundreds of dollars a year.
And the thing is, and it's a proven fact, government always underestimates. They always give you these little white lies, and then lo and behold, you're stuck with it. And what are you going to do then? You know. So, listen, we got to take our break here on Talk of the Town. We're going to ask our caller to hold on, and we'll be right back.
You better tackle this deal before it gets away from you.
Move your accounts to Florida Credit Union today and take advantage of our totally free checking, free Visa debit card, free first box of checks, free internet banking, free bill payer, free e-statements, free account alerts. Totally free checking from Florida Credit Union. Seriously, no strings attached. We're not the big banks. We're local and not-for-profit. Make the switch today and start saving.
You got the ball. Isn't it time to run with it?
Hey folks, Paul from Morels here. It's getting to be tax time again, and with times as tough as they are, we know you want to get the biggest bang for your buck that you can get. Well, here at Morels, we're going to help you do just that. You won't find a bigger selection of Ashley furniture or lower prices anywhere around Lake City. Ashley recliners for $299, Ashley sofas for $315, reclining sofas for $499, or how about an Ashley sectional for only $667, or maybe a dinette table and 4 chairs for only $349. We have cushioned loose lay vinyl for 99 cents a square foot, carpet remnants for 99 cents a square foot. We have a $1.39 20-year laminate. Plus we have over 50 mattresses to choose from, including Tempur-Pedic and iComfort, and a clearance center chock full of furniture from 20 to 50% off. So come out to Morels and get great deals on flooring and get furniture and mattresses for less.
Take Highway 90 west of I-75 to Jeff Davis Lane. Follow the signs to Morels in Lake City.
Hi, NBA forward Kevin Durant from the Oklahoma City Thunder, here with Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck to remind you to get moving every day.
Because when you get moving an hour a day,
you'll have more energy to do the things you like to do.
And that's a slam dunk.
Whether you like to shoot hoops like me, skateboard, ride a bike,
or dance on your roof,
be a player.
Get up, play, and move it your way.
Head online to get tips on great ways to get moving every day.
Check out how to be a player at letsmove.gov. A message from the Ad Council and HHS.
Call Jake and Ed now. 372-3995. That's 372-3995.
Place you with the shot.
The Precious Metals Report is presented by Coin and Jewelry Gallery of 2007 Northwest 43rd Street in the Millhopper Shopping Center. Current market conditions for gold, $1,789 per ounce. Silver is selling for $36.99 per ounce. And platinum commands $1,726 per ounce. The Precious Metals Report is presented by Coin and Jewelry Gallery.
You didn't get away, man. You flubbed that at the beginning. Sorry.
Well, it's because Nathan had he threatened my job, folks. He said he's going to bring in Dijon Kane to sing the coin, sing the report.
You wanted to say something before we take this caller?
No, absolutely. We have 30 minutes left in the show, and I think this is a tremendous opportunity to encourage people to go out and vote. And we really would like, all of us would like to hear from someone that takes this time and goes to vote. It only takes 3 or 4 minutes, and then calls back into the show and let us know that how easy it was.
And if you call in, you will get a chance to maybe try to read that Precious Metals Report and try to do better than Ed. How's that? That might work, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he's certainly good.
Yeah, let's take Debbie on line 1. Go ahead, Debbie.
Hey, guys. Well, I'd like to tell you what my favorite quote is. I believe it's Dr. Dobson. Evil can only prevail when good people do nothing. That's why you go vote. That's how you stop corruption. Well, it only exists when you do nothing. But I just want to give you a little feedback. I spent most of the morning at the grocery stores, and I'm encouraged. I don't know if it's because I have my Scott T-shirt on, but people are telling me, hey, I voted for your guy.
That's good.
That's good, yeah.
And they're willing to talk about the issues. As soon as you start talking about their electric bill, they'll listen, and they're willing to go vote. So
I tell you what, I mean, your utility bill is going to be outrageous if Lauren Poe gets in there, and there will be no accountability. They'll have, they'll just have no accountability at all. I mean, who are you going to go and complain to? We've already heard from Thomas Hawkins, so we just politely ignore them. So that's
why we have to have Nathan Scomp, and that's why I'm going back to the grocery store after I finish my lunch hour, because they will talk, they will listen, and we've got to get Nathan Scomp elected. It's that important. And I just want to thank Nathan so much. He's my hero for putting his neck out there and his reputation for us.
Well, he's taken a lot of abuse too. I mean, he's got everybody, all of the powers that be, the media, the city of Gainesville, the Democrat Party. They're all just, getting personal and really going after this guy. And it's just, that's a lot of abuse.
Well, I'm getting a lot of thumbs up out there this morning. It's very encouraging.
I haven't seen this much abuse since I worked at the Gainesville Sun and did cartoons.
Well, and keep charging hard. The polls are open till 7, and of course Nathan has just put a challenge out, which we think is a good one. Call back if you go and vote during this next 25 minutes that we're on the air.
And Ed, thank you for your article. I didn't catch it, but I will look for it.
Okay, good.
All right, thanks. We appreciate the call. Now, Ed, on this article, did you get a lot of comments in the comment section?
No, and this usually happens. You know, I know one of the reasons they publish me because they know it gets a lot of attention, but the liberals don't really attack it that much because there's not much to attack. When you use their own data and their own sources,
they just want it to go away.
Nathan, you have this. We could tie this in. I mean, you didn't come up with your own numbers for the biomass stuff. You look at their stuff, and that's the same thing I did with the BRT. This is their own feasibility report. So yeah, they won't respond too much to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it really does come down to, I think the common thread running through all of this is the fact that they don't understand that there's only so much money. You can only tap into that taxpayer source so much that, you know, it's almost like they have a disconnect. You know, $308 million for bus rapid transit and all this pie in the sky stuff, and then the biomass plant. Well, it's just going to cost you a little bit more money. You know, it's not a big deal. Well, it is a big deal. People are struggling to pay their utility bills. People are struggling to pay their taxes, and how are you supposed to make it? Especially if you're over a lower income individual. Is the city going to come to your rescue and help you pay your utility bill? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is why we need change and new leadership at City Hall. This election is about the hardworking people of Gainesville that are struggling to pay their bills and want to have their voice heard. And our elected officials consistently demonstrate that they're ill-equipped to spend taxpayer money in a fiscally responsible manner. And they just spend and incur additional debt, and sooner or later that's going to catch up with them.
And let's look at the city commission. Over the years, they have done everything they could to throw a roadblock in the way of Walmart, big box stores in the Northwest, anything they could do to discourage businesses from coming here.
Right.
Over-regulation. And what is their answer to economic development? Well, we need a bus rapid transit system. Well, that's not, a business is
not even going to serve the low-income area.
But a business coming into this city is not going to look at it and go, wow, they've got a bus rapid transit system. No, the first thing they're going to look at are the regulations and the taxes, and they're going to say, screw Gainesville, I'm going somewhere else.
Doing business.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is, and this speaks very well to your candidacy, is we know that the biomass contract and the impending rate increases are significant. But folks, if it's that obnoxious here, there are dozens of other places where cost overruns are the norm rather than the exception. And someone with sort of the number crunching skill that you have, that's going to help citizens. That's going to be a watchdog for the taxpayer to be on the commission to be able to do that. Todd Chase is of course doing yeoman's work, but he's one person. He needs help. For example, the proposed homeless center is already more than twice the original cost estimates that were put out there. I mean, it itself is they haven't turned dirt yet, and it's already turning into a massive cost overrun.
But basically, really getting back to GRU, what they did was they turned over a taxpayer-owned utility, to a private company. And they turned everything over to them. It's just unbelievable. Our call-in line is 372-3995. Let's take Cheryl on line 1. Welcome to the show, Cheryl.
Hey, I just voted for Nathan, so thought I'd call in.
Oh, man, awesome. It happened. Wow, 9 minutes, 7 minutes. That's great.
Well, you can come by the studio.
You get the free paper clips and gently used pencils.
Yeah. Oh, we appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad that, it's funny how they had in the paper how we're just inches away from this premier city or whatever. As I'm driving through the potholes and, seeing trash all over the place. I don't see what's premier about it with the crowd as it is,
Well, yeah, it's. I think they're trying to, what it is. It's all about their resumes, and so, maybe they have premier resumes. That's what they're hoping for. But we appreciate the call, Cheryl.
Yeah.
Thank you for your support, Cheryl. Appreciate it.
Well, let's take Armando on line 2. Go ahead, Armando.
What's going on, fellas?
Well, we're having a show.
Not much, just laying around. How about you?
I hope you two have already voted.
I have, yes. I voted for Nathan Scott.
Yeah, I don't live in the city of Gainesville anymore.
Oh, you want to go out to the county?
Armando, have you voted?
I have voted.
Oh, good.
Right,
Excellent. We appreciate it. I'm sure you voted for the right candidate.
I voted for change.
Good. Okay.
Oh, come on, Armando, say it. Say it loud.
I voted for Nathan Scott.
There you go.
Thank you.
Was that so hard? Come on. Now, What'd you call about?
What? I wanted to discuss something about BRT.
Yeah.
BRT, I think Commissioner Sherwin-Henry said it well at the last City Commission meeting. One of the commissioners who's up there pushing it now, that is pushing bus rapid transit, how can we push bus rapid transit when we can't even get our existing infrastructure with respect to RTS in place first? And then it doesn't even really serve most of East Gainesville in District 1. So I think Commissioner Henry was on the right path. And I think this is one of the commissioners, his pie in the sky and that nice little streetcar to nowhere he wants to call Desire. So,
a Desire called Streetcar.
Yeah, and the thing is, Armando, I think...
And by the way, that wasn't redacted. I haven't photoshopped that. That is true. That is true.
And I'll tell you what, how else could you read it except that the City Commission has sent a message loud and clear to East Gainesville, shut up, know your place, you don't matter. You know, that's the message.
I think I got an email from somebody that says it's the plantation or something like that. But I'm more concerned about next is I'm concerned about Mayor Greg Lowe and all he's been doing lately. I'm just tired of the Susan Botchers, the Evelyn Foxes, and these folks that think that they can dictate to us. But you know what? I hope, in my election, like I said, I feel for what Nathan is going through right now. But like I said, I received the same level of scrutiny, and I hope folks can come together. It is a nonpartisan election, and this has become so partisan. But,
partisan by design. Yep, thanks to the media. All right, we appreciate it, Armando.
I did. Oh, by the way, so there, Nathan, I said I voted for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And when I was over at the East Gainesville this morning, we were putting up signs. Went down 8th Avenue, plenty of SCOP signs. There's so many out over there, I didn't have to put many of mine out.
That's great.
That's good, yeah.
Thanks for the call. Jake, do you get the impression that Armando sets his alarm clock by the show or something? Yeah, he is. We love you, Armando. I think that call.
So at 12.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I don't know.
So
Making a ham on rye.
So at 12:42, should we give a wake up call or something? Or
I guess.
Oh well. So
you've been out getting signs up and stuff.
Yeah, we're up at. We left on the mission dawn patrol 4:30 in the morning. Went to hit all the polling locations. Went to Mount Carmel, Spring Hill. Basically, over the east side, there's a lot of my signs over there in shops and businesses, and it's. The volunteers I had with me were like, wow, there's not much to do over here.
So, gosh, you were getting on pretty early.
Well, that's a good sign. I mean, it's so hard to tell in these local races, to get a good feel for things. And, but this has all the makings of a very close race. And that's why it's important for voters who can vote in the city to go vote.
Absolutely. And that's, it does. And that's why we're working hard to communicate our positive message to the voters. It was inspirational to see my volunteers, including myself yesterday, stand in the pouring rain during rush hour traffic in the evening, so could head to toe.
To pay your tax bill to Vaughn Fraser?
To hold signs. Okay. And it was very thankful to my volunteers. It would stand out in the pouring rain for me.
I heard people were queuing at 43rd and 39th to pay their taxes and to renew their license tax, since that's where the tax collector hangs out.
That's where you can be found
bring
all
two
the time.
forms of ID, folks.
Absolutely. Let's take Mark on line 1. Welcome to the show, Mark.
Hey, good show, guys. I just want to tell you that tomorrow night there's going to be a secret meeting at an undisclosed location in an underground bunker for some of the Tea Party revolutionists to go ride buses around town and take head counts and time it takes to get around. So maybe we'll have some good information on the total number of ridership and everything, especially in East Gainesville out here where I live on the plantation.
Well, you'll actually double the ridership in doing so, and then RTS will release a press release, announcing new goals, hit and everything.
Yeah.
And Corinne Brown will fly in and do a photo op and announce another earmark.
And Mayor Lowell will cut a ribbon.
But actually, you know what? You are on to something, because the Cascade Policy Institute is a state state-based think tank in Oregon, and that's exactly what they did. They went to Portland. Well, they're in Portland. And what they did was they went to a number of destinations that they say light rail works great at. And so that included the Civic Center and places like that. And they did actual head counts, and they came up with something like it accounted for about maybe 5% of the trips, 7% of the trips, the market share into the area. Mm-hmm. And so, proving that even on these high destination places, it still just has a very small, market share of the total transportation.
Did they count that sleeping coyote?
Well, consider that I live off of East University Avenue out here on 38th Street, and I'm up and down Hawthorne Road. I can almost tell you how many riders there are from Waldo Road out to the end of the bus line on Hawthorne Road, University Avenue. So,
yeah.
I mean, it goes up 25th Street, Northeast 8th Avenue, and all that. So,
all right. Well,
there's not that many people.
Well, call back in with the results. We appreciate it. We got to take a break here, and we're going to ask our other caller to hang on. We'll be right back.
Thinking of alternative investments? Now's the time to think about buying gold and silver, precious metals, as a hedge against inflation. With the dollar and the euro so unstable, investors worldwide have turned to precious metals. If you're ready to get started, stop in and see Ann or Vince at Coin and Jewelry Gallery Millhopper. You can trade in your old gold for something new or toward bullion investments. Coin and Jewelry Gallery on Northwest 43rd Street next to Beef O'Brady's in the Millhopper Shopping Center. Or call 378-3983 to get started today.
When you were a kid, you had all sorts of toys. Toy cars, boats, trucks, entire toy boxes full of fun. Of course, you never really outgrow your toys, do you? It's just that now, instead of a box full, you have a garage full. Cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, ATVs, and more. As you get older, your love of toys just gets stronger. So protect those toys the best way possible by switching to Allstate. An Allstate agent can help do the switching, paperwork, bundle all your policies together, and even find you a bunch of discounts. So if you love your toys, make sure you protect your toys by making one call to an Allstate agent.
Protect all your toys with Allstate. Find an agent near you at allstate.com today. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and their affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Dollar for dollar. Nobody protects you like Allstate.
Hi, everybody. This is Wynonna Judd. Every 8 minutes, another family needs American Red Cross disaster relief. You can help the victims of thousands of disasters across the country each year by making a financial gift to the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund, which enables the Red Cross to provide shelter, food, counseling, and other assistance to those in need. To help, call 1-800-HELP-NOW or visit redcross.org. Together, we can save a life.
If you would like to contact Ed and Jake, you can email them at talk995@gmail.com. That's talk995@gmail.com.
All right, let's take Doris, who's been waiting patiently. Go ahead, Doris.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for the show, because it really gives an opportunity to voice opinions and see some reality in a lot of issues that are going on in Gainesville. I am concerned about the accusation about the city of Gainesville sending out a Twitter. Now, I don't know how to Twitter.
I don't either. So
unfortunately, I'm just not privy to that.
Yeah.
But are you sure this is actually a city of Gainesville?
Yeah, I'm looking at the website, City of Gainesville, says follow us, and that's the name, City of Gainesville.
Yeah, can I get part of this? Can I get this Twitter sent to my email address?
Yeah, I'll forward you the email that I got. It came into our radio station. And I think if you go to twitter.com, I think you can search for specific users. Like you could, Angelique Jolie for some reason jumps to mind. But, other things like City of Gainesville.
You're making it broad for me. I'm an old lady. You're going to have to help me on this. Here's my issue right now. My husband and I pay a lot of tax dollars, and I don't like it when I hear someone say the city of Gainesville's done something. I want to see what they've done. And I've called some very high people, and they're checking this out right now. Because if this was done, it had better be corrected, and it had better be corrected really fast. Okay? I don't want this stigmatism on the city of Gainesville. I know other people will come in and can counterfeit or can go in and copy and do things to different websites or whatever. I hope that that's the case. I hope this didn't come from the city of Gainesville.
Well, Ed's going to send you the email link, and I believe he is. So, I find it outrageous myself. I just think, and they can say,
it's the real deal. It's not photoshopped like the Gainesville. So see, there's a difference. If it came from the Gainesville Sun, you would just check to make sure the timestamp on it wasn't photoshopped or something like that. But this is the city of Gainesville, so we'll send it to you, Doris.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. And if I could talk to someone off the show, because I want you to send it to a couple other people as well.
Okay, well, we'll have Armando. He's doing nothing. He can come by and talk to you.
Well, we'll have Ed can talk to you. He's got the laptop, so you just give us a call back after the show.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Let's take Ray on line 1. Go ahead, Ray. Ray, you there?
Yeah,
okay.
I am. Yeah, Nathan, hi. As you know, I'm a Democrat, and I've supported you and still support you, and I have done that in partly because I've been embarrassed for my party and for the city because of the actions of certain city commissioners. We were both on the receiving end of these disreputable smears during the general election. Those smears didn't make a lot of difference in my race for different reasons. They really did, in my opinion, make a difference in your race. And what I'm calling about today is to ask the listeners to this show to listen to something that I wrote the day after that race, and it's come true, and it's not a surprise that it's come true. The Gainesville Sun actually printed this one. I wrote, attempted smears orchestrated by some city commissioners, in my opinion, will become nastier and more outrageous in the post-Scott runoff. The stakes are that high. Biomass rate hike at any cost. Commissioners are desperate to end all discussion of the irregularly negotiated more than $3 billion biomass contract the City Commission approved in violation of the Sunshine Law. Now, it didn't take a lot of prescience to see that was going to happen, but it has happened. And it is not the way we want our city to be. It's not the way Democrats want it to be. It's not the way Republicans want it to be. I haven't heard one instance in which you attacked your opponent on anything other than policy grounds. But the sorts of smears that have come against you are a real disgrace to our community, and I hope that voters will consider that when they go to the polls. I'm a Democrat, and there are a lot of Democrats that have supported you, and that's one of the reasons they have. If you're elected, I hope you'll take a page out of Todd Chase's book. He is an exemplar for our community. He doesn't insult people. He doesn't take personal attacks. And if you get elected, with the two of you on there, I think you can change a lot about the civic culture in our community. That's all I wanted to say to voters who are out there. I'll hang up and listen.
All right, well, thanks. We appreciate it. And Todd Chase doesn't get up and walk out on former mayors because they're,
because they're having a temper tantrum.
Yeah, temper tantrum, yeah. Well, one person who is not a Democrat is Stafford Jones. We've got him on line 2. Welcome to the show, Stafford.
Yeah, and actually, I'm not calling to talk about Republicans. I guess what I'm calling to talk about is the fact that, kind of touch on something actually that Ray just said, is that this election has been far, far bigger than ideology or party partisanship. I mean, people like Paula Stammer. If 8 years ago, if you'd have told me that Paula Stammer was going to be in our Republican headquarters making phone calls for somebody like Nathan Scott, I'd have told you, shut up. That ain't going to happen. But it's happened. People like Harold Sade and people like Mark Goldstein and also, Mark Goldstein hasn't made phone calls, but actually he did robocalls for Nathan, and then also people like Todd Chase. And Matt McEachern.
So what you're saying is that the Nathan has managed to create an alternative universe. It's kind of like Bizarro World, right? People from different spectrums have come together and to push his candidacy.
Well, I call it more like building unity.
Oh, there you go. Okay, well.
It really is. It is unity, and it's unity for a purpose. And the purpose is not partisanship. The purpose is policy. And that this biomass plant, green energy, guys, it's good. Green energy is good, but these guys just gave away the farm on this deal, and it's going to kill us all. And Darren Cook knows that, Nathan Scott knows that, and all of these people who, Democrats and independents showing up in Republican headquarters just to use the phones and make phone calls to help everybody out to make this happen. So it's been an amazing ride. It really has.
So they really did take to heart when it said it's a nonpartisan race. I mean, they're not paying attention to parties; they're paying attention to policy, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing partisan about being fiscally responsible with taxpayer money.
Yeah.
It's been a great ride, and it's been and this issue is not over. I mean, win or lose, and I'm hoping and believing for the best tonight. But this issue is not over, folks. Because come 2014, like Nathan keeps saying, 2014, when people start getting their bills and we're having to pay for the biomass plant at that point, there's going to be a revolution.
Absolutely, the biomass is going to hit the fan.
People are going to start realizing, heads are going to roll at City Hall. I mean, I really believe that, because people are going to be outraged.
Well, Stafford, I've been getting around town, seeing a number of SCOP signs, and so it seems that there's been a pretty good effort to get the word out. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, let's let Stafford. Oh, are you talking to Stafford, or are you talking to? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to the candidate.
Why don't you go back to sleep, Jake?
I'm going to join Armando and just take a little snooze right now.
I'll tell you, everybody that's pitched in, I believe, has done all they can do. The number of phone calls that's been made by people coming in the Republican Party, and that includes Tea Party folks too. Rod Gonzalez and Lori Newsom and Tom Hayes Morrison and lots of other Tea Party folks, lots of Republican Party regulars. I mean, we've long since called through the entire district too, and as of today, we're down into for the rest of the city of Gainesville, we're down into just the non-regular voters. I mean, we've called through all super voter Republicans and the rest of the city of Gainesville, and we're down into the non-regulars and signs. Nathan, great job putting out signs, and him and volunteers walk in neighborhoods. So everybody, Nathan, the party, not just the party, but all the volunteers, the Tea Party. I think everybody's done everything that can be done. So,
all right, we appreciate the call, Stafford.
And don't forget that genius Alex Patton, who was the genius that created the GRU mailer.
You're absolutely right.
All right, well, thanks. We appreciate it. Well, we're starting to run out of time here, so what's up, guys?
Well, I would say before Nathan, there's a nice little Voice of the Voters letter today from a James Thompson. I mean, we've made the conservative case for Nathan Scott, but again, you have a lot of crossover appeal. And so, folks, if you're on the fence or you haven't voted yet and you're not sure, and you're one of those progressives, he makes the progressive case for Nathan Scott, and he puts it right out there. There's a link to a lengthier piece he's written, and I'd encourage you to check it out. I mean, it speaks very well for your campaign.
Absolutely, and James Ingalls, one of the campaign strategists, and very honored to have his endorsement and support. And again, we're just trying to build a broad-based community coalition to bring change to city government, and I ask everyone to come out and vote for Nathan Scott today. Make a difference.
Now, are you going to have some kind of a post-election place where everybody's meeting, or?
Yeah, I think we're going to be doing Gators later this evening. Still TBD, but that looks like where we're going to meet and hopefully celebrate victory.
All right. Well, good luck, and this is it. This is crunch time. We need people to vote, and I hope everybody gets out there and does their part. It only takes a minute to vote, but it's going to save you years of money.
No, absolutely. And your vote is effective check and balance on a city commission that's grown increasingly arrogant and does not listen to the citizens of Gainesville. So come out and make a difference. Your vote counts, but we can only bring change if the people come out and vote today. And vote for Nathan Scott.
All right, thanks. We appreciate it.
We'll be back with a bigger show tomorrow. We'll be talking about the results here and anything else in the news. The county commission's meeting today, so there's no telling what's going to come from that.
God help us, right?
Hold your wallets.
All right, thanks. We appreciate you joining us. We'll be back here tomorrow and Talk of the Town on the Star 99.5.